Good Saturday morning, and welcome to our Dreaming with Entrepreneurs and Google Plus Saturday morning community meeting. It's been a great week for me, and things have been happening in the community. I hope it's been a great week for you, and that's why we're here today, just to share some of the experiences of the week, what's happening in your business. Are there things that we can do within the community to help you with a specific challenge that you're having in the business? And as we get started today, I would like to welcome an individual who community member, Delilah Taylor. And Delilah, it's been way over a week since you and I have had any kind of one-to-one communication. How you doing?
Doing good. Just been busy, which is not a bad thing.
No. How are those engagement numbers in your HOA coming along?
They are phenomenal. My shows, I'm getting that that crazy inflated number of like hitting a potential of like 2 million something. But my average on the shows, I've got 40 to 50 interactive people on the shows, and I'm about to start getting ready to expand. I've got some ideas and some plans in place to bring some people over from that, the F spot. And
Well, that's fantastic. So the folks understand what that big number actually means. Uh, let, let's explain it. It's important to um, ad agencies, public relation agencies, to take to their clients and say, look at how much reach there is in this particular event. And that means that, well, if you get the chef, for instance, and he's a good example because he's very visible in a lot of HOAs. If he comes in and engages in that event, that adds 508,000 to that number because he has 508,000 plus followers. Now, does that mean that every one of those 508,000 followers are going to see a message of some kind or engage? Absolutely not. But the agencies want to tell their clients what a great job they're doing in placing media and getting the message in the right place. And so it has less of an impact on you and I at our levels and the things that we're doing. But you can't really you can't get worried about that number, be it high, be it low. It does tell you that folks with large followings are coming to your event. That's really all it tells you, and so that's not a bad thing.
for, for sponsorships, that's what they want to see is those ridiculous inflated numbers. I mean,
Yes and no, and we're going to, with a great point. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that a little in a few minutes.
right.
Um, yes, they want to see what the potential reach is, but more important than the potential reach is the engagement of those folks who come in to the HOA. That's way more important because those are the folks that can make things happen. Those are the folks that can purchase the goods or services that sponsor is presenting. Those are the people that can go to the Holiday Inn in Washington, D.C., who has been a longtime sponsor of Mia in her Friday HOAs. So that's what that means. And I should say to anybody in our community that is watching, viewing right now, of course, you can always um, enter questions into the event stream, uh, and I may do a good job of getting to them. I may not do a good job in getting to them. My friend Delilah will help me whenever I should be paying more attention. But if any of the folks who are watching right now would like to come inside the HOA and take a seat in the lower third, please let us know in the stream, and I will send an invite out to you. Okay. Something that is happening next Monday, and I've been talking about it, posting about it, sharing it, because it's something very important to me and what it is that I do, and I hope it's important to you. It is National Small Business Week, starting on Monday. And as I said, I've been posting about it for the last 3 or 4 weeks, different aspects. There's 5 cities that are on the tour, if you will. And actually, I don't have that list in front of me. I could look it up, and I will put those 5 cities in. But if you go to SBA.gov, SBA.gov, SBA stands for Small Business Administration.gov. They will have a lot of information about this event because they are the ones sponsoring it. The Small Business Administration has been in existence since 1953, and they really are a misunderstood government entity. They really are there for small business in 2 different areas. First and foremost, and this is something, once again, that is misunderstood about the Small Business Administration. They do not make loans to your business. If you need a loan for your business, the Small Business Administration doesn't make that loan. What they do is guarantee your loan. So you go to your traditional lender, a bank, you get a loan for your business, let's just say $100,000. Depending upon the nature of the loan, why you need that loan, what you're going to use it for, strength of your business, that bank may say, might say, they will say, well, we are interested in what you're trying to do. We are potentially interested in loaning you the money. However, we want you to go to the SBA and get a loan guarantee from them. That's what the SBA does. And once again, Preston wants to come on. Let me invite Preston in.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you that. I just got my comments.
And I think you need to turn up your volume a little bit, Delilah.
How's that?
That's perfect.
Okay, I just had to move my microphone.
You just don't want everybody to hear you speaking and laughing, all that infectious laugh that Delilah has. Okay, I invited Preston. We'll see if he comes on board here. So, Small Business Administration will say, well, they'll go through a process. Now, I heard somebody make a statement the other day on an HOA, and I didn't want to correct them during the HOA, but I wanted to have a side conversation with them. The SBA process is not a complicated process. They have taken, good morning, Preston. They have taken the loan process, and there are some forms that need to be filled out, but it's very, very streamlined, and they will make a decision very, very quickly whether or not they will guarantee your loan to that bank. And they have different levels of guarantee, as a matter of fact, once again, depending upon the nature of your loan. It could be as high as 90% guarantee, and banks obviously love a 90% loan guarantee because then their risk on your loan is only 10%. So worst case scenario, you go out of business, you can't pay your loan back, the bank will get 90% of their loan back based upon that SBA loan guarantee. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
And recently, the Small Business Administration appointed a new executive director, and her name is Maria Contreras Sweet. How sweet it is! SWEET. And she was, I'm not going to go into this interview, but I do recommend that you go. It was an interview she did yesterday. And here's a point I want to make about it, Delilah and Preston. Good morning, Preston.
Morning.
How you
Hold
doing?
on. Excellent, excellent.
Okay. She tweeted this whole interview. It was a tweet interview kind of thing. And Vivek, if you want to come in to inside the panel, let me know. And Roxanne wants to come on too. Finally, Roxanne is going to come in. Okay. I've been trying to get Roxanne in for several months. Here we go. And Vivek,
She's
I'm going to send you an invitation also. Man, Delilah, we're gonna get down and party. Delilah's gonna you'll be our social chairman here. You know how to do these things.
I'm only drinking Diet Coke this morning.
Oh, well, it's only 10:30 or going on 10:30 in Tennessee. So there's Roxanne. Hello, Roxanne. Oh, she'll get over here. There's Roxanne. Hello, Roxanne. Oh, bad sound. Okay, well, I'll introduce everybody in a moment here after we talk about the SBA. So she tweeted this whole conversation, and wouldn't it have been a great way for her to do an HOA and do this whole thing and take it out and interact and have questions and this whole thing? So I recommend you do go to SBA.gov and read it. She has some interesting, well, she's paid to say that how important small businesses are to this country, both in employment.
Yeah. Hey.
There she is.
Yay.
How important small business is to our economy, everything. Everything. I think there's like 68% of the employment. 68% of the new jobs created in this country come from small businesses. I think small businesses have 90% of the total employment, and we haven't seen yet the craziness that's going to happen with small business with the new health insurance regulations. If your small business has more than 50 employees, you are mandated to provide health insurance for those employees. Mandated insurance means you have to provide it, and you have to provide it with clearly defined coverages. And that is going to hurt a lot of small businesses. And I know a lot of small businesses, and I've had discussions with insurance brokers, with some CPAs on behalf of their clients, that they're looking for ways around the whole thing. And when you start to look for ways around doing what needs to be done, it's not a good situation. I don't think there's an employer in the world that does not want to provide health. Well, I shouldn't say the world. An employer. Oh, do I see I see a finger up? Delilah, what comment do you have?
Around here, what's happening is employers, and this is awful. They can't afford it.
Delilah, we're not hearing you on your mic.
Oh, I don't know why.
That's better.
Okay, the employers around here, they can't afford to give the insurance to their employees. So they're cutting them all back to under 30 hours because that's the requirement for being a full-time employee. If they get 30 hours, they're considered full-time, and that employer has to give them insurance. So they're just hiring employees and making them all part-time and cutting them all out of the insurance. Now, another thing that I've seen is employers that have full-time employees, and a lot of people, they have 2 and 3 jobs. There's an employer here now, a government entity, that is telling their employees, well, if you're working this second job and you're getting over 30 hours at that second job, you have to take their insurance because we're not going to offer you up. I mean, how crazy is that?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get off of that kick because we could go on that one all day long. Actually, I have
we'll have a 24-hour hangout.
a 24-day hangout, 24-month hangout. Actually, I have some good news on the healthcare front. You've probably heard me talk a little bit about it, that because I turned 65 last Saturday, I have now qualified for Medicare. And in my case, this is the first good health insurance that I have had in over 15 years. The last 15 years have been the biggest challenge for me, and now I have good health insurance. Last time I had good health insurance, and then we'll move on. 20 years ago, I had 2 heart surgeries, and my total, and this is 20 years ago, it was 1994, December 1994, I had total out-of-pocket expenses of $25 for two heart surgeries and 10 pages of drugs that they were pumping me with. I had no idea what was going into my system, but I saw that there were 5 pages of it, and that included 6 days of stay in the hospital, with probably 4 of those 6 days in intensive care as I was recovering from the surgery. So it's amazing how things have changed, but I'm so excited about it. Okay. Let's take a moment and I'll let you introduce yourself, and we'll start from where I'm looking at from my left to my right, and actually it was the order that you came in to the HOA. So we'll start with Delilah. Delilah, why don't you share who you are, what's going on in your business life right now, what wonderful things you're doing with Hangouts, and how impactful they've been on your business.
My name is Delilah Taylor. I was a dog temptress. I came into Google as a relationship coach, which has actually helped me to expand my business because I took everything that I know about relationship coaching, how to talk to each other, and expanded it into Google because there's so many people that come in and they're like, I'm dropping the link, I'm not giving any engagement. So I started working with these people on how to engage, how to get their business out there. Started my own HOA. I'm on a couple of other HOAs with people about Google, and just having a phenomenal time here and getting ready to expand some more. Start bringing over some people that I have from Facebook and starting some more engagement for that. Worked out great. If you want to engage, check out my website, engage my HOA.
Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. The place to be is Roxanne's place. Delilah's place, not Roxanne's place. Delilah's place. And Delilah, are you potentially? I'm going to ask probably a rhetorical question, but are you interested in sponsorship for your HOAs?
Absolutely. And that's why I'm building my HOA is going through the roof. It's happy hour hangout. And next week is going to be amazing. The panel on there will be the biggest one I've ever had. It's going to be all ladies. Ladies night. Let's see if everybody ever got Mia Voss, Stephanie Sims, Maggie and Zoetta, um, Gail Harris. There's one more.
Well, you can. Why don't you post it in the stream?
I will. It's going to be
Post it
massive.
in the stream. Yeah. Well, the answer to your question is I'm sure that you want to have sponsorship for your HOA, and in fact, one of the initiatives that I am working on for the community in a collaborative kind of effort, I'm going out to the marketplace to find sponsorship for a new concept that I am going to be producing, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days. And now that's one area. And another area, I'm going out on behalf of the community collaboratively and going out to get some substantial sponsorship dollars from a vertical industry. It happens to be the insurance industry. In the 1990s, all of my clients were insurance companies, and I actually had 19 of the 54 largest insurance companies. The smallest company I had was number 54 in terms of size of insurance companies in the country. And I did it. I had a network going of insurance companies in the 90s. I'm going to bring that network back and get the network to sponsor HOAs. And there'll be a plan. It's not just do you want to. I'm creating a very specific marketing strategy for them, not just for us, the folks who produce the HOAs, but for the sponsors. A very specific plan with deliverables. And then I will come back to the community and say, okay, you can have dollars, a piece of the pie, so to speak, but you must be able to deliver for what they're looking for. Does that sound like a fair way to approach it, Delilah?
It sounds fantastic to me. In fact, I'll have to hang out with you later and tell you about my idea that's coming up. We may be able to collaborate with that, which is another great thing that you get with Hangouts is the collaboration and working together. I mean, it is so well because you have so many individuals, and as individuals, we all have ideas. But if we can bring those ideas together and work together as a community, it brings everybody in and brings more of the pie for all of us. Because I want all of us to succeed. That's the best thing in the world.
Well, I'm gonna get it on behalf of the community, and something else I'm doing. I'm gonna test. I have a, and once again, I don't want to mention a name, but they've approached me to endorse their product that is targeted for small businesses. Okay, it's a small business product. Now, quite honestly, I don't know if I'm a good prospect for my business for their product. However, that doesn't mean that I can't endorse it for small businesses because, yes, it's a good product. So I'm working out the arrangements with the company, and it's a brand that you will all recognize. And I'm going to try out their service if they want to market to small businesses. And if I feel strongly enough about it, I'm going to bring it into the community, endorse it, and also I'm going to tell the company that, okay, that's what I'm going to do for you. Here's what I want you to do for the community. If we sell your product to community members, or if community members sell it to whomever they want to, the affiliate monies are going to come back to the community. They're going to stay in any affiliate sales that might be generated will stay in the community. And we'll have a big party, man. We'll have a IRL party or something. I don't know what we'll do with it. But the concept works. It's going to work. We're going to make it work. And I'm testing it. And actually, I was supposed to have a one-to-one demonstration yesterday afternoon. It didn't work out. So this week I will. Probably next Saturday I'll be able to report what's going on with it. So really excited about that because it establishes a whole new value proposition for our community. Okay, Preston, what's going on in Preston Odenbrett's world right now?
Well, very, very busy, which is a good thing. I just got 3 proposals off, so I'm happy about that for this last week. So if I can do that every week, I think I'd have a lot more sales.
Okay,
But
let me
no,
ask you this question. Let me put you on the spot for a moment. Now that you brought it up, out of those 3 proposals,
yes,
realistically, how many of those are you going to close, or how many of those will close?
I think 2 of them for sure. The other one
Good
is a
for
little
you.
bit bigger, so it's going to have to go through more.
Good for you. That means you need to get 10 proposals a week out.
Exactly. Means
And,
that that's instead of making 50 calls a day, I got to make 80.
well, maybe if you want to, maybe there's some secret sauce in it. Maybe because you do proposals like that, you would want to share the proposal experience. How do you go about doing a proposal, finding a prospect, and doing it? I'll share what I'm doing. My life's an open book, so it doesn't matter. Okay, is there anything that other community members might be able to help you with your business?
Well, yeah, actually, right now what I'm looking for is a couple of things. One, now unfortunately, the link that you see on the bottom here is our website. That doesn't need a proposal per se. That's just a different business, but it's a tool that I'm using. But Skyline Webcams is what I'm doing full time. And the beautiful thing about it is if you know anybody who owns a resort, anybody that has a beautiful location that wants to drive business to their location, we set up high definition webcams for them. Obviously, there's a little cost in it, but it's very relatively inexpensive compared to everything else that's out there. And the beautiful thing about it is once they get it installed, they get a ton of visitors coming in because our website currently, and this is actually a website in Italy, believe it or not, has well over 8 million visitors coming to that site on a monthly basis. So we're looking for locations all over the world. I can now officially sell all over the world. And then the second thing is I'm looking for partners who want to actually do what I do, and we're setting that up now. So anybody can help me on that.
Well, we'll throw out there. Why don't you put a posting in the event stream,
Okay,
exactly what it is that you want, and we'll have it out there, and we'll see what kind of response you might get.
great, appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. Roxanne Davenport, how long have I been trying to get you into an HOA? Like months.
Really? I didn't know that.
Well, you and I had some interaction some time ago, and well, it doesn't matter. You're here today.
Okay.
What happened in the past doesn't matter. Tell us what is going on with your business, your life. Is there anything that we might be able to help you with the community?
Well, right when I was going to start doing Hangouts, my computer, for some reason, it won't do it for Chrome, or Google. I have to do it under Explore. So that's why I
Oh my
froze.
goodness.
I know, that's why I froze when I first started coming on. So,
Vivek will tell you a horror story about Internet Explorer.
oh, really? Well, mine works for for Explorer. So, oh well. Um, that's why I'm stuck on not doing Hangouts right now, which I have been wanting to start. So now what I want y'all to do, please, for me, I'm going to do a story once a week and post it. If y'all could start spreading the word, it's going to be on one person every week, how they deal with epilepsy. And that's what my community is about, because that's what I have. And there's so many different kinds that people don't know about. That's what I'm going to talk about in their stories. So I'm going to send one out tomorrow. I'm letting the person read it today if they like what I wrote. So it's going to be a Mother's Day story about her son. So if y'all could read that and maybe spread the word, and then every week I'm going to write one. So maybe that'll help since I can't do my
Wow.
Hangouts right now.
That's
Great.
something that we can definitely help you spread the word. I mean, there's no question about that. And boy, I got a flashback, Roxanne, when you started to talk about it. I had an incident one time, and it was amazing. I was only about 19 years old, and I was on a labor work crew, and one of the other members of the work crew was having a seizure. I don't know if it was epileptic seizure, but it was a seizure,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was just standing around and not doing anything. And I just went over and went down, and I didn't know exactly if I was going to be doing the right thing. I've had some CPR training now, so it's a little bit different. But all I did was I went in his mouth and got his tongue freeing, so he started breathing again, and and he went from purple to normal. But it was just a simple thing. But everybody was just kind of standing around and not reacting at all. Now, I don't know. My instinct was, well, God, the guy needs some help. Let's help him. Is that a common kind of thing with epileptics? Is that something that, I mean, talk a little bit about that. That's
I don't do that. I just stare for 30 seconds and sometimes shake my right hand. And it's long enough to where I don't drive because within 30 seconds,
could have a bad
have a
accident.
horrible accident, yeah. Which, unfortunately, I did because I'd been seizure-free for 5 years, and so I had approval to drive. But the pharmacy switched one of my meds to a different generic, and caused me to have a wreck.
Wow.
And yeah, I was fine because I went limp. It wasn't anything like my regular kind of seizure. So I fought my daughter. She was in the passenger seat. I fought her because she kept trying to pull the brake up, put the car in neutral, but I fought her where she couldn't, and hit so many mailboxes, went back and forth on the road, and finally hit a tree, and it went in between us. The airbags didn't go off, nothing, so I don't know why not, but you can notice now whenever you're riding with somebody, if they won't stop when you want them to, you'll press your foot down against the floorboard, and that caused her to shatter her ankle. She was 14, so she's had 5 surgeries and finally had to have her ankle fused.
Wow.
So that's what really made me get into spreading the word and doing things. So now,
Any way we can help you on the hangout part of it, I'd be more than happy to help you any way I can. So
okay.
just do not hesitate to call upon me to do that.
Well, I just call my congressman and I write them, and now I can take all name brand medicines. And you just wouldn't believe about insurance companies.
Yes, I would.
Wow. Well, being from North Carolina, my insurance company is in Idaho. Did you know that? I can't believe that. When I called them to fight for my generic medicine being brand name, I had fight them. So, well, anyway, I won.
So
But I
you
don't drive.
wanted your generic to be brand. That was the whole argument, and
Yeah,
they would only pay for the generic.
right.
Interesting, because I took a brand drug for 18 years until it cost $2.75 per 10 milligrams, and I said, this is ridiculous. And I was taking 10 milligrams a day, and 2 days I was taking 15 milligrams. So I went to I begged to go to the generic, and it cut my costs from 275 a pill to probably about 10 cents.
Oh,
Cents a pill. It was amazing.
yeah.
It's a crazy world, that generic and drug world. That's one of the reasons why we have so many problems that we do in the healthcare industry, that they contribute to it.
Yeah. So um, just read those stories because it's amazing, especially the one tomorrow that be putting out. It's amazing.
We'll make sure you post a link in the event stream, and we'll help get the word out, and particularly tomorrow, which is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Look at that big smile on Delilah's face when I said Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day. But I am trying to figure out how to do a nonprofit. So that's my biz. Because
I've seen you post some streams about nonprofit, and I wish I could help you more than I can, but there's got to be somebody in this world that we live in that can really help you with the nonprofit aspect.
I just don't want to do the taxes. I have people that will give me money. Ruby Tuesdays will give me a night, or they would give me 3 nights a month. 3 nights a month nationwide. And Texas Roadhouse will give me 1 night a month nationwide. So I just have to be able to do the taxes on it.
We'll have to find a CPA for you.
There you go.
That's what we need to find for they're the one that'll be able to help you on that. Okay. Oh, now we're over to the UK. We've moved from North Carolina over to the UK, and I see the smiling face of Vivek. How you doing this morning, Vivek?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine.
What is going on in Vivek's world that he would like to share, and how can the community help you accomplish goals and objectives?
I'm actually just here just to socialize, really.
Engage.
Yeah, engage. Yes, that's what I want to do. Yeah.
Well, we have a very calm engagement, but if you want a wild engagement, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Delilah's place. There's where it's off the wall, man. It's anything goes, right, Delilah?
She's muted.
Yeah. We have a great time. Talk to anybody and everybody. I mean, there's more guests every week, but yeah, and sit back, relax, have a drink, don't have a drink, and just get to know people that get to know the person side of them. Great.
Okay, I'm gonna play a game with everybody right now who's on the panel, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it just so happens there's enough. I was reading an article this morning or yesterday. I get a lot of email marketing blogs about marketing and sales, and I've subscribed to them, so I get a lot, and I really enjoy this one. It's called Smart Brief. Those folks do a great job of collecting information, collecting stories, and then they have categories, and one of their categories is entrepreneurship. There was an article that came out today, and I kind of like to read these because sometimes they're written by people that they're philosophizing about something they don't know a whole lot about, and I kind of enjoy reading those kinds of articles. But one came out, and of course it's going to catch my eye: 5 traits of entrepreneurs. So what I'd like to do, there's 4 you and 1 of me. So let's let each one respond how they think to this particular trait. And I actually, as I look at the list here, there's one I'm saving for Delilah because it fits her perfectly. That's why I'm going to say that one for her. But actually, I'll just throw them out there as opposed to putting you on a rabbit. First trait of an entrepreneur, confidence. Any natural entrepreneur is bursting with confidence, both in him or herself and in the conditions they control. Entrepreneurs need risk to thrive. They need risk to thrive. So believing in themselves and the people they put in positions of responsibility is essential. Anybody on our panel like to grab that one? Just raise your hand. Don't everybody talk at one time.
David, I think that one's you.
Okay, that one's me, so I'll grab that one. Thank you, Delilah. It is me. There's no question about it. But there's one thing in there that I've been very blessed in my 40-plus years of doing this stuff that I don't even think about. It's not in my mindset at all, and that's when they talk about risk. There's one thing about having confidence, and we have to have confidence. And not only do we have to have confidence, we always need to be presenting a positive attitude. And that positive attitude that you present shows the confidence that you have in whatever it is that you might be doing. But it's that whole concept of risk. And if you've never had a business and you're thinking about starting a business, the one thing that will shoot people down is that whole concept of risk and fear of failure.
I think it was Seth Godin who said the biggest risk you can take is not taking any.
And I think that's the second time I've heard you present that at an HOA, Vivek. No, I know it's the second time, and it may be the third time, but yes, it's. I wholeheartedly believe that, and related to that, Vivek, and talking about fear of not being successful. People talk about failure, and failure has never been a mindset of myself. We set goals and objectives for ourselves, for our business, and we may or may not achieve those goals and objectives, but that doesn't mean that you failed. And very related to what you just said about Seth and his comment about risk is, I believe failure is not trying.
Yeah.
I believe that's the failure in not trying to. We might not be successful. You know what? We don't know. We might have read the market wrong. We might have not had a good strategic plan. You know, when we're in business and we're trying to sell something, we're asking people to change their behavior and buy from us. And that people do not change behavior overnight. Behavior changing is a long process. It's education, it's trust, it's confidence, it's all those things, and so that's where an entrepreneur needs to really work.
I have a saying.
What's that saying?
Get asking for money or things like that. I always say, well, it never hurts to ask.
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt to ask, because if you don't ask, it's not going to come for the most part.
That's what I say. Well, it never hurts to ask. Anybody you don't think will give, they end up giving.
Okay, the second one is really one that we probably don't even need to talk about it too much, because we talk about it a lot. I have found a lot that people have P words as they describe entrepreneurship. My 3 P words are passion, persistence, and patience. Those are my 3 P words. And it just so happens that you read, and everybody's got their P words about entrepreneurship. But the second trait that this author talks about is passion. And anybody want to make a quick comment about passion? I think it's on every list. You see that P word. Yes, Delilah.
Oh, I raised my hand first.
Oh. You two fight it out. Fight it out between Tennessee and North Carolina.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Just woke up
late, so I
Preston,
need breakfast, but I need lunch at the same time. Like,
passion is you have to have it. And if you're unable to do it, if you're not able to bring that passion and show it to others, you're not going to get anywhere.
Mama, what did you ask?
They have to, whoever your customer is, has to believe that you believe in what you are doing and what you're saying, and you have to be able to bring that forefront.
And people have to feel it.
Absolutely.
Roxanne, what was the passion comment that? Well, you did so. You've already showed some passion in your cause, and so you've demonstrated very clearly that passion is a strong characteristic. What would you like to add to that?
Well, yeah, my passion just to work on finding a cure, or people just working to help raise the everybody's attention to epilepsy. So that's my passion.
Okay. So number 3.
I think I have to go. My daughter's right here. So I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem. Have an enjoyable day, and have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Can I watch TV?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Sam.
Can I watch some TV?
Okay, number 3 is a fighter's instinct. Preston, why don't you address a fighter's instinct?
Well, when you're in business, I relate it a lot to your Rocky. You get beat up all the time, and you just take the punches, you take the hits, and you just kind of go, okay, what's next? How many times can I get hit before I get it? And you know, there's a lot of mistakes that you make. There's a lot of testing that you do, but then when you finally get it after sometimes years, it clicks. Not only into your mind, but other people's minds, and then you go forward. So
I can't believe what you just said, Preston, because you hit me right in the face with a punch.
Yeah.
I have made a mistake, and I've been making the mistake for well, more than one. Is that what you said? One? Is that what you said, Delilah?
There's more than one you make.
I have been making the same mistake for over 40 years.
Ouch.
Ouch. And on the outside, it doesn't necessarily look like a bad mistake, but it's in business, it can destroy you. And I have made the mistake as recently as 3 or 4 months ago. And I made the mistake 3 years ago, and it brought me down to my knees. Now I beat it, and I guess that's why I've beaten it every time that it's happened. But I let it happen again and again, and I don't know. I guess that's just my nature. I'm not going to go into it because it's not a pleasant topic to talk about. But I've been making the same mistake for a long time. But you know what? I'm not going to make it anymore. I'm not going to make it anymore. In my twilight years, I've finally learned, and I'm not going to make it anymore. Okay.
Yeah, it's learning from the mistakes. That's
well, I do learn from them. I shouldn't have done that, but
don't repeat it.
Yes, that's where I make my mistake. Okay, number 4. Wow, here's a good one. Vision. You have to have vision. You have to look out and you have to see something out there. A dream. Dreaming with entrepreneurs. It starts with a dream. There's a vision out there, and you know what that vision is, and you say, geez, what's it going to take for me to realize that dream that I have? What's it going to do? So then you start building a strategy, and you build it backwards. You say, here's the goal and objective, and then you build it backwards. What's it going to take to achieve that goal and objective? and you write it down. You have to write it down. You have to write it down, and you have to post it or see it in a place that you're going to take a look at it every day, so that you can look to see how you are achieving, working against that goal and objective. But the vision is out there, and it starts with that vision and works backwards.
Yeah, well, the Bible always says, man, without vision we'll perish, so if you're biblical, that's...
Listen to the Bible. Listen to the lessons of the Bible.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Michael Gerber, who is one of my my mentors, and I actually had an opportunity to go one-on-one with him several times in my life, and he talks about well, he was the one that came up with the E-myth, and the E-myth, the E and E-myth, and that was 25 years ago, actually 26 or 27 years ago, and E stood for entrepreneur myth, and his whole theory was that most entrepreneurs, instead of working on their business, they work in their business, and that's where there is that it's that vision. The entrepreneur, the owner, the founder has to have that vision, and has to be able to think about it and create it and say, this is where the company is going to move, this is where the company is going to go. And if you are too busy working in the business, you're not spending enough time on the business instead of in the business. So vision is a very, very important part of that whole concept.
I honestly believe that there's a lot of great visions or big ideas that people have, and the problem they have to break down is between the vision and that strategy point. They know that they want to do this, but how? They lose that how, and how to strategize and work back from the next down.
Is that Delilah? Is that part of your male-female relationship business, where that couple has to have a vision and then a plan to work? Is that part of your mentoring your clients?
Yeah, because they're here and not working together, but they know that they want to work together. They just can't figure out the middle part. How do we rebuild it, or how do we build this? And that's part of the entire plan. Teaching them. We start with communication skills. We start with new ways of engaging with each other. Start with building new memories, because they cannot figure those pieces out for themselves.
Okay, I'm going to get to the last one. Boy, we're longer than I wanted to be today, but that's okay. Number 5, and I haven't heard this one. It actually is kind of interesting. I haven't really seen this written out this way. But number 5 is entrepreneurial characteristics: a rebellious streak. I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you, Delilah, when I actually read that. That was the one I wanted to say for you. What you visualize will materialize. Entrepreneurs need to be agents of change. We need to be change agents.
It also reminds me of Phil Bowyer breaking off this guy. Oh.
Okay, I have a couple things I did want to accomplish before we break up here today. And I have to go to a health screening. I have to get some information to take to my physician on Tuesday, because I'm having my first complete physical in years is happening this Tuesday, because I've had to pay cash for my physicals, and I'll stay healthy. I want to do a shout out to Sheila Strover, and here's why I want to. Um, Sheila entered the event stream, and she said, actually, she's here, and I thought I saw in the event stream that she said she wasn't going to be able to be here. So and Vivek, I think you had, I don't know, I misinterpreted maybe what you said, and there are a couple people, and I don't know if maybe Delilah was on. At any rate, I came back and said, well, you physically might not be here, but your entrepreneurial spirit will be. That was my response in that comment. So Sheila picked up on that, and she responded to that comment, and the outcome from that is Sheila is going to come on, and we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial spirit. She said, well, David, we haven't talked, but in our messaging going back and forth, she said, well, I'm not an entrepreneur. And I said, you know what? I don't know that you necessarily need to be an entrepreneur. You certainly have the entrepreneurial spirit. And I've seen that as I've seen the event, your comments, your questions, your challenges to people in the various event streams that we see. So Sheila, Monday at 11:30, she and I are going to talk about the entrepreneurial spirit of things. So thank you, Sheila, and we'll see you on Monday. Another thing I wanted to mention, and I've talked about this, but I'm going to do it again. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the whole concept got started in a hangout that Delilah was doing.
Yeah.
And our friend Tim I don't know, we went back and forth in a conversation, and he ended up sending me this as a birthday present. And but there's another level to it. He's also going to include an oil painting rendering of this. So I said, wow, how cool is that? Let's sell those inside of the community, outside the community, inside the community. But what a great thing to have in your background is your own caricature, your own artist's rendering of whatever. So we're going to do that. Would you post Tim's information, Delilah, and a link to his website?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit. I'll have to look at his website.
But we're actually going to sell these. Tim's going to sell these. So how cool is that?
Awesome.
Tim Longwell, and I've got print number 1. How cool is that? So when these things start selling for $1 million a piece, I got the very first one. So thank you, Tim.
Hangout. I think I need one.
We all need them, and Tim is going to price them very, very reasonably. Okay, I think that is it. I want to thank you folks for taking time out of your schedules. Vivek, what's going to happen to the rest of the day in the UK? It's lunchtime. No, it's almost dinner time.
No, it's 4 o'clock in the evening. So not dinner, not yeah, it's tea time. You can say.
Tea time. There you go. And what's going to happen for the rest of the day in Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Gonna be sitting here watching movies, watch the rain, and gonna be building stuff, checking out some websites. And
Speaking about Tennessee, let me tell you something that I learned. I learned it 9 months ago. My granddaughter was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, and there's a famous entrepreneur in Tennessee that does one of the most unbelievable things. Every well, you probably know who I'm going to talk about, Delilah, but every baby born in Tennessee for X period of time in their life gets a book. I think it's once a month they get a book. Do you know who that entrepreneur in Tennessee who does that? Her name is Dolly Parton.
Ah, Dolly Parton has a
My granddaughter, who lives in Italy but was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, because she was born in Knoxville, Tennessee, she gets a book. I think she gets a book once a month from Dolly's foundation. What a beautiful thing that is. Talk about a successful entrepreneur and great things to do with your money. Wow.
and her park and everything is right there where she actually was born and grew up, and all that money, everything she took back to her family. So, and now it's magnificent. She does so much for unbelievable. She is amazing, amazing.
Okay, so you heard what's happening on Monday in the community. Sheila is going to, she and I are going to have a conversation on the entrepreneurial spirit. Um, Also, a client prospect of mine is going to get a YouTube, a 5-minute YouTube, either tomorrow or Monday, probably tomorrow, about a marketing concept that I have for his company, a very, very well-known brand. And when I land the business, we will, the community and members of the community who produce HOAs will probably be able to benefit from that. And then I also told you I'm working on an industry, a vertical industry presentation too for sponsorship. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you. Delilah, Vivek. I've been pronouncing your name all this wrong, and you reminded me the other day that it's Vivek and not Vivek. So from now on, you are Vivek. Thank you for taking time out of your schedules, and anybody who took their time to watch our community meeting. I've had an enjoyable experience, so we'll do it again next Saturday, and we'll just keep it going. Too bad it's Saturday morning, huh, Delilah, and not Saturday late afternoon or early evening.
I'm a morning person. I like Saturday.
Well, I've already taught an exercise class today, so it's been a busy day already. But thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you the next time, which may very well be the best time.